Hello there, it's Sunday, November 5, and we're well underway and stripping off the accessories here. The good news, almost all these bolts came loose. This one came loose, except for three. This one, that one, which I've already drilled off the head, and that one right there. So hopefully, when I drill this last one off, this thing's just going to come right loose, and I'll be able to grab a hold of the bolt with a pipe wrench or something and screw it out of there. If not, then we're going to be having to drill up in the head and all that business. So still got our fingers crossed on success for those three. Just working on getting the block heater out. That thing's pretty much welded in there. My engine didn't have a block heater. There's just a freeze plug in that hole, so that's what I'm going to do, is get that thing out of there and put a freeze plug in it. But it's coming along really well. I mean, it's starting to look even better, you know. All that nasty cruddy stuff taken off of it. I'll take the alternator off. And what have I done so far here on this side? I took the cover off. I guess that's about it. I did some validating. My flex plate does line up with these bolts, so that's perfect. Okay, got that one. So the tip of my little drill bit broke off up in the hole there, which was going to pose all kinds of different problems. So I just used my cutoff on this one and cut through it and broke it off the rest of the way. So now we're loose. Let's get this thing off of there. Wow, I didn't think this one was going to come out. I actually put some heat on it, not much, but just that little propane guy. That might have done it, because I was beating on it, soaking it with PB Blaster. All right. Look at that. Wow. All right. That's great. Fabulous. Hey there, Wednesday, November 8th. I got the oil pan off right here. And I've already wiped this out. And it has no crud in it, other than the expected thin layer of sludge at the bottom down there. And no dirt, no metal, everything looked good. I brought my pan from my engine over here to compare it. They're identical looking pan. I'm gonna put this one on there just because it looks a little bit better on the outside. And it's a little cleaner. I could just spray that out with brake clean and it's ready to go. I guess I could do it to both of them. But underneath side is clean. I broke the gasket, darn it. But I think what I'm gonna do is save myself $40 and 2 weeks waiting to just put a little bit of RTV on the brake area and stick it back in. I think it'll be fine. I mean, they're 2-piece gaskets anyway, or 3-piece, 4 pieces. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, little thing right here. And over there is where it tore. Over here, same kind of thing. It came apart at the joint, and over here it tore. So I don't think it's a big deal. What I did notice is this was laying in the oil pan. I think I might have broke it. This goes at the end of the dipstick tube right here. I didn't recall seeing it get broke, but I got the one here off of my engine. I'm going to swap that out now. And I don't think I have any RTV. I'm going to go check real quick. If I do, I'm going to put this pan right back on. Oh, no, I'm not going to put it right back on. I guess I could put it on just to keep the dirt out, but I'm going to rotate the engine top dead center on number 1 and go through the sequence of adjusting the rocker arms. I don't know how to tell when this thing is on top dead center number 1 from the outside. I mean, it's not like you can pull a spark plug, right? I don't know how. I know that the flywheel has this pickup right here has an extra hole in the flywheel, and that might be how you tell if it's number one or not, but I'm going to find that out now so I can rotate the engine around. And also I'm going to look up in the cylinders, each of them, and make sure that nothing looks awry in those. And we got our freeze plug. I think I might have mentioned this already. This is the freeze plug that goes at the back of a camshaft on a V8 engine. I think it's Chevy 3.8 V8 or something. And it's just the right size for this. I called Detroit, they want like $38 for this thing. So I got this for $2.09 from O'Reilly Auto Parts. So that was a win. All right, starting to get exciting. All right, we're putting number 6 at overlap, which is the same thing as number 1 on ignition, because they're running mates. And E stands for intake and A stands for exhaust. A is exhaust, E is intake. So I got two feeler gauges, one with the minimum and one with the maximum. And right now, I just did the intakes, which is 1, 2, and 4. All right, so here is, let me zoom out a little bit. This is 14 thousandths. And it fits right in there. 1. The intakes are the ones with the bridges. So that's intake. This is an intake. Fits right in there. And now number 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. All right, so it fits right in there. And now here's a 17 thousandths, and it will not go in. Same here and there. And I already did the exhausts. So now we got to rotate the engine 180 degrees to put it on cylinder number 1 at top dead center of overlap. And we do those cylinders. So to get the top dead center, I pulled out the crankshaft sensor, which I had to destroy. I'm pretty sure this is ruined because it was, the hole was all corroded between the aluminum and this stainless steel keeper. But if you look down in that hole, you can see there's a hole in the flywheel down there. There you go. So that gives me my top dead center. And I was looking up in the oil pan to know that number 1 is all the way up. And when these are loose, that's compression. Number 6 is on overlap, so they're both tight. All right, so now we're going to turn the engine 180 degrees and get number 6, 1 and 6 back to the top, but one full rotation. And the cam will have turned a half turn. So 1 will be on overlap and 6 will be on ignition. All right, 1 rotation of the crank. And now number 6 is on ignition and number 1 is tight. That means 1 is on overlap. And now I got to do the same operation on the other 3 cylinders and I'll be done.